What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got a few scotches I wanted to review, but to be honest with you, I was smoking some turkey today. I got a turkey breast on the smoker, and I was thinking myself if bourbon might be better fitted for this situation. But this whiskey, Elijah Craig Barrelproof, this is B522 of the second batch of last year, the B batch. To be honest with you, we've had pretty much every batch. We was lucky enough to get every batch of this since like 2019. But we've never reviewed an Elijah Craig Barrelproof before on the channel. And to be honest with you, at one time in my mind, this was like the best value, at least in barrelproof bourbon, that is. But that's what we got. That's what's up on the channel. Elijah Craig Barrelproof B522. Let's get into it, guys. Elijah Craig Barrelproof. This one's batch B522. We've done a lot of Elijah Craig Barrelproofs. I've had a lot in the collection. I want to say since 2019, I probably had every batch of these. My personal favorite bourbon that you could just pick up. They've been hard to get nowadays. You used to be able to get these. At one point, this was the best value in barrelproof bourbon, as far as I'm concerned. Like $54.99, $60, you can pick up a barrelproof 12-year age-stated bourbon. It was insane. Like people got the wind of that, and I mean now you can get them for about $70, anywhere from $70 to $80, which that's about the going rate. But for 12 years old, it's still a good value. You're getting a 12-year bourbon. At barrelproof. But I mean, they walk back on the age stated now. So any batch you get past the A batch of this year is going to be, it may be lower than, more than likely, I think the B batch is, B523 is 8 years old. They claim that the C batch, they have a lot of rumors, maybe 13 years old, but they're just no longer going to be a standard 12-year across the board, which kind of salty about it, to be honest with you. The value of it used to be, it's nice to know that your barrelproof bourbon that you get is always going to be at 12 years old. Like, that was a reliable thing. You can always rely that Elijah Craig Barrelproof would be, you getting a 12-year-old bourbon, even though you're paying like a premium price for it. Let's face it, anything over $60 for a bourbon, you're paying premium price. But, I mean, it's delicious. It's actually my favorite profile. Like, this is my favorite bourbon when it comes to, my favorite whiskey when it comes to bourbon. Like, I like a lot of scotch, but Elijah Craig Barrelproof is just perfect for bourbon because, for somebody that doesn't like a whole lot of rye, I have rye in the collection, but to be honest with you, most of the time it's a heavy corn rye. So it's not 95%, rye mash bill. It's got a lot of corn and stuff. The ones that I have, like E.H. Taylor straight rye has corn heavy. That's another rye I had that I really like. This corn heavy rye, stuff that's not like Bullet, that's like 95% rye. It's just too much. You get all those green notes to it. Whereas Elijah Craig Barrelproof, not heavy on the rye, so I think it's only 10% rye in here. It actually has you have a higher malted barley content than you do rye in the mash bill. But it brings like a sweeter note to it. So it's you're gonna get more like really sweet caramels, vanilla, with that 12-year age statement brings like the heavy charred oak with it, which, man, that's just hits perfect. So on the nose, they all have this Heaven Hill scent to it. Now, every batch could be different because it's different proofs. But until this year for the B batch, they were all 12 years old. So you're getting heavy oak and you're getting that bourbon characteristics, vanilla, the caramels, low hit of cherry, a little brown sugar on the nose. But we took the Heaven Hill tour, and just walking in the rick house, you just smell that the angel share just coming out the barrels, and that's what you smell. It reminds me of that every time I smell this whiskey, and that may be another charm as to why I like it so much. Is it brings back a memory of just going to Kentucky, going to the bourbon tours and stuff. But we had fun in the Heaven Hill tour. It was nice. But it definitely brings me back to that. But a little spice in there. This one's coming in at 121 proof. So at 121, you're getting a good bit of spice with it, though. At least more than other batches. I think the year before this, C921 was probably my favorite batch of 2021. This one's good though. It's just spicier. The other one, I think, I remember that batch, the C921, and A122 is really good too. But it has less spice than this one. I remember this one has a lot more spice. Cinnamons, definitely nutmeg, even a little clove in it when the spice comes out. All right, let's get into the flavor, guys. Rich bourbon flavor. So really thick mouthfeel, almost like a chewable whiskey. Heavy caramel, vanilla. Spices come in mid palate, hit hard. For the low rye content that Elijah Craig has, very high spice, bacon spices. Oak comes in on the finish, very long finish, just finishing still. But I mean, that's really what you're paying for with a bourbon over $60. I mean, you want something with some age to it, but the finish carries out, and this definitely does it. Really thick, rich flavors. Even a little leather on that taste. Really, like some of the older bourbons, you're gonna get more leather, rich flavors, thicker flavors in the barrel-proof whiskeys. That's good though. That's really good. Brown sugar for sure. Flavors last for a long time. Really long finish on this one. We had one that was really spicy a while back, and we had added a little water to it, and it tames it down. It depends on the whiskey. Some whiskeys, it really amps up the spice. But this one, I had it, we were drinking it one day a while back, and a few drops of water to it does cut out that spice to it, and it smooths it out a little bit. This one, really, a few drops of water would help it out. Other ones I've had, that really doesn't need it, but this one's good. So on the rating on this, I think I always go to I think the batch that I love that I've had that was my favorite Elijah Craig Barrelproof B520. The B5 batch of 2020 was my favorite one. I've never found Elijah Craig that I like more than that. This one's good though. C921 was, like I said, was great. This one, I'm gonna give it 8.25 to it. So 8.25 on the Couyons rating. I think C921 I gave a 8.5. So I gave it an 8.50. This one 8.25. Still good though. They all have the same profile. You have that same Heaven Hill flavor to it. Which is not a complex flavor, to be honest with you. Some have a little bit more complexity to it. But I always get a simplistic bourbon flavor, but it's just Elijah Craig Barrelproof turned up. When you get regular Elijah Craig, it's good at 94, but it's nothing to write home about. It's a decent bourbon, but it really needs to be higher proof. If they did Elijah Craig small batch, say they did bottled and bond at 100 proof, that would sell. I think that would be great, to be honest with you, especially if it was at 12 years old. But this whiskey is it's great. Elijah Craig 94 is okay, but it seems like just the flavor profile of it being less rye really should be turned up. Like it's almost like a wheated bourbon. They all taste better at higher proof, but they kind of simplistic. But when you crank that proof up on them, they hit harder. You know what I mean? Just it's good. I've had other whiskeys that were like high rye that could have been a lower proof and have been better, but this one's perfect at barrel proof. But that's about it, guys. On the Elijah Craig Barrelproof, I don't know how many batches y'all want to see of this. Like we have, I got the next few batches. I don't think I really need to review multiple batches of Elijah Craig Barrelproof. They are different, but they all have kind of the same Heaven Hill flavor. Some may be spicier, you know, but you know, maybe in the coming years, since we might review if we get some of the later ones that's not 12 years old. We'll try it out. But I've heard good things, even though the B batch of this year was, I think, 8 years old. And I was watching a review the other day on Fred Minnick. He loved it. So, I mean, he's still a little salty like me about it not being 12 years old standard across the board in all the batches. But he said it was great. But we'll see. But that's it for Elijah Craig Barrelproof B522. If you like what we're doing, hit that like button. What's your favorite batch of Elijah Craig Barrelproof? And how do you feel about it not being a 12 years old? Are you fine with it just, you know, getting a 13 year or the hopes that we might have a 13 year one day? Seeing how that tastes, or you think it should be a 12 year standard all the way across the board? But let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next video.